How did you get started covering the Canucks?
Yeah, I alluded to it a little bit earlier, but I started a blog. I was a blogger. Started it in kind of the early days of the blogs when there were a bunch of like little independent ones. So it was robthehockeyguy.com and just sort of did it casually for a few years. You know, right up until 2013 was when I kind of got my big break when Daily Hive, it was called Van City Buzz at the time, came calling and asked me if I'd write a weekly article for them. Quickly, the weekly article turned into, will you kind of run our hockey section? And then, I grinded again for a couple of years, being kind of part time side hustle before they said, okay, the Daily Hive had grown and they asked me to kind of quit my day job, and I did, and become the full time sports editor there. So and never look back.
Awesome, awesome. Let's dive more into Canucks. Thoughts on what the Canucks have done so far in the offseason?
Yeah, they haven't done a lot, have they?
Mm.
I think it's. I think that a lot of times, and this was, I think, sometimes Jim Benning's undoing, was he'd go into an off season and he'd try to hit a home run. I'd try to knock everything out of the park, get it all done. And I think that was what he tried to do with the Oliver Ekman Larson trade, where it was like, okay, we're going to get rid of all these bad contracts in one trade. We're going to trade our top 10 pick. We're going to bring in OEL. We're going to hope that he turns it into an all-star defenseman again. We're going to do all these different things. But I think you can really make a lot of mistakes in an off season. And I think that was, I think there was a lot of landmines set up for the Canucks this offseason. One of them, I think, was letting Brock Besser walk. I was convinced that was going to be a mistake, and it looked like they were just going to let him walk and try to figure out something else in free agency or via trade. And that never made any sense to me because there wasn't a lot else available via free agency. Besser was the best guy that you're going to get to come in that was UFA. And I think that, by bringing him back, I think that was a positive move. I think the loss of Pius Suter hurts, particularly because they haven't replaced him yet. They're paper thin up the middle. They're relying a lot on, first of all, you've got to rely on Elias Pettersson to bounce back. I think he will, but you're still hoping